Hi guys, welcome back to Adapting Health. Today we're going around Meanwood Valley Trail, or what we can do of it. So we did about 4 kilometres and the entire trail is probably about 11 kilometres. So we didn't do too badly, but we have found that the entire trail unfortunately isn't accessible, but we'll explore together. So first up we're just going to apparently another car park. So we started at the Meanwood cafe where there is some parking. I think there's 2 or 3 blue badge spaces and there is a toilet. However, it's not the most accessible and you do need to buy something to use the toilet. I didn't. There was a whole hoo-ha, so I managed to not, but I would have liked to. So because we'd successfully gone to a different car park, we went back on ourselves and went over the bridge, saw the little waterfall, very nice time, and then turned at the crossroads to go onto the main path. So it's a nice accessible tarmacked land. Here we're just going a little bit off-road for the dog, and they needed to pee on that tree. So it's fairly level and I can't complain about it. If you spy now, there's some huskies and it was the most incredible thing. So this guy had this huge scooter. I'm not really sure if it was e-assist or not, but it was really big, like really long, and he had these 3 huskies and they were just having the best time. Sorry I didn't really get the footage, but here's a story about it. I hope you enjoyed. So while I was rambling about the huskies, we crossed over the bridge and that's fairly accessible. It's probably one of the least accessible bits, to be honest, because it gets a bit uneven. But then you come around this nice path and you see this nice body of water, there's a tiny little waterfall in the middle. Lovely time. However, then we've got the fact that we can't leave this bit. You have to just do a circular loop. It's quite a small circular loop as well. So here is where this path is meant to go, and you're meant to be able to cross over and continue the Meanwood Valley path. However, not accessible at all because there's a bridge with stairs. So back on a merry way we went. In the interest of making this walk a bit longer, we did consider going down on this path to the right. However, it had rained quite recently, as you can see by the puddles, so we didn't decide to do that. However, I think it just loops around to where we went in the first place, to the car park, so not a whole lot of point. Also, I have gotten stuck down that side of the path anyway, on coming the other way, so again, not the most accessible, probably to something, but kind of difficult. Again, we're just trying to make this a bit longer, so at the crossroads we went across, and this terrain was pretty gravelly and a bit icky, to be honest. Didn't love it. And then it's got these fences which I could get around, but then there's a stair, and then it gets kind of narrow, so not really accessible again. So at this point we're just trying to explore where it is we can go, where it will be accessible, and just having a see where this goes and work that out again just from another perspective. So after an overly long chat at the map, we decided to go back on ourselves and try and go up the path where we originally went on the main bit, where we crossed over the bridge and then want to go over the bridge again, but meet that where it was accessible. So away we went. So we're going past the cafe, up quite a big slope, couldn't manage that quite on my own, and then thought, oh, okay, maybe let's go through the woods because that's nicer than driving on the road. However, also not that accessible. I did see a dog who had a squeaky ball and was running away from his human though, which was very funny. because he would run away from human and then squeak the ball, and his human was just getting very frustrated. However, I really enjoyed it, as I imagine did the dog. So this road does actually have cars that go down it, even though it's a no-through road. There are houses at the end, so completely understandable. However, it does make you feel a bit bad if you're, well, made me feel a bit bad at least, as a wheelchair user, because a car couldn't get past me. So I got my yayas out and went full pelt. And then we caught up with each other and all good. So this terrain is a bit rocky and not ideal, but you know, doable. Spoiler alert, we're coming up to a really big hill and it gets quite muddy, and so again we decided to call it a day because unfortunately not the terrain for me. A little bit too swampy. Maybe we might be able to do it in summer, but also maybe not, I don't know. So overall, a bit disappointing that we couldn't do the entire trail, especially because the documents from the City Council do kind of suggest that they are accessible, but what I think they actually are accessible for people who can walk, which is a different kind of accessible. So I would absolutely recommend coming to this park, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it if you want a really long walk, because it's just not designed for that, unfortunately. But would come back. Thanks for watching. See you next week.